All right. So 8 weeks ago, I was in Helena, Montana. I was sitting at this bar called Haps, and this old man came up and bought me a drink. And it took him about 5 minutes before he started talking to me about his son. And his son was in Iraq. And he took him even less time to relate it to me and tell me how brave I was for coming back, for readjusting to my newfound life. And of course it made me really uncomfortable, and I went to itch my chest, and he asked me if I still wore my dog tags. It was a year and a half before that. I was in New Zealand on a study abroad, and this woman came up, saddled up next to me, and didn't say hello, didn't say anything else. She just said thalidomide with a questioning tone. I'd never heard this word before, so of course I asked her about it, and she said, don't you know? It's the drug that pregnant mothers used to take to combat morning sickness, and it caused all these deformities in kids. Wasn't that you? I was in Ukraine 4 years before that, and in Kiev, went to hire a taxi with my buddy Serge, who's a Ukrainian buddy, and this woman came up to me while we were sitting on the side of the street and put both her hands on my head and started trying to stuff money into my hands while muttering something in Russian. And what I got later from Serge was that something had happened to her son, and ever since then, she'd always tried to be really generous towards people who can't work, towards street people and beggars. So. I was 8 years old, and my mom came walking through the door one day laughing, like really laughing. And apparently she'd met a parent in Helena who had a kid that went to our school. And this parent had heard about the reason for my having no legs. And apparently it was that I'd gotten in a car accident. And unfortunately my mother had been driving me and she'd been killed. My mother thought that was pretty funny. But it was only 9 years before that when she had to be convinced and talked down by the doctors that my being born without legs was not due to her stress during pregnancy. So, I mean, even she had a story. And at the end of the day, what would I like to succeed in?